JD Vance, quote, "I guess now I can make a bit of breaking news because I left the White House to come here to do this interview with you." Wow, don't oversell it there, pal. That is the Vice President of the United States, and he was on Jesse Watters Primetime announcing a criminal referral of a sitting governor and attorney general. This was on Fox News during prime time. I remember back when the DOJ used to simply issue a press release. And now they're on Jesse Watters.
We're certainly going to investigate this, Jesse, and I guess now I can make a bit of breaking news because I left the White House to come here to do this interview with you. And before I did, we actually referred this particular case to the Department of Justice for full criminal investigation.
This happened on Monday night. JD Vance, Trump's sidekick and official fraud czar, referring Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison to the Justice Department for criminal investigations. Vance on X said that these Minnesota officials are not above the law, and if they facilitated fraud or lied under oath, they must face justice. So what crime did they commit? Where did all this come from? A House Oversight report from James Comer's committee claims that Minnesota officials knew about fraud in their social service programs, and they sat on it. And where did that come from? Yep, you probably remember it. That lying sack of 23-year-old conservative YouTube named Nick Shirley. And Shirley posted a thinly, and that's being generous, thinly sourced video that tried to tie Minnesota and their fraud scandals to Somali child care centers. And you remember that the right-wing machine treated it like it was a criminal indictment. And that's what kicked off that whole ICE versus Minneapolis clash that left innocent Americans dead at the hands of Homeland Security. And that video, it went viral because it got boosted by idiots like Elon Musk, Kash Patel, and Vance himself. So now you get a criminal referral landing inside this new federal fraud apparatus that Trumpworld has been building. The fraud apparatus that critics are warning could become a political weapon. Could is being generous. It has become a political weapon. And whether the org chart says one thing or another, the message is obvious. MAGA is putting a spotlight on Democratic officials and weaponizing the government against political enemies. And they have the nerve to call it neutral law enforcement. And this is already the second federal investigation of Walz this term. They opened one in January over his immigration enforcement because he didn't play along with the ICE thugs in his city. So yeah, you're going to hear about some facts and what Walz actually did when fraud showed up in Minnesota for real. You know what Walz did? He prosecuted it. His state prosecuted it, and people went to prison. Walz signed a package this year that toughened fraud penalties and extended the statute of limitations so that they could prosecute it even more. His spokesman responded to all of this, calling Comer's committee, quote, a joke, and then added that if the committee is concerned about corruption, they should investigate why President Trump continues to let fraudsters out of prison. Which, because Trump, he spent his entire term handing out clemency to literal convicted fraudsters like Halloween candy. Ellison, for his part, he's called this what it is. It's a political stunt from an administration that uses the machinery of government to target its perceived opponents while extending leniency to those that are aligned with its interests. Yes, actual fraudsters aligned with Trump get pardoned. And the governor who prosecuted actual fraudsters gets criminally referred on national television because he ran against Trump. And you know what? None of these charges, they probably won't stick. There's no real evidence there because the investigation is the punishment. And that investigation is amplified on Fox News using the Justice Department as nothing more than a prop. And for stories like this, independent media, we are calling it like it is. And some of our friends are literally being targeted by the White House like David Pakman. That's why it's so important that you support independent media, whether it's us, Farron Cousins, David Pakman, any of them. Make sure you take time to leave a comment, hit the like button, anything, because none of us are going to stop doing what we're doing just because the turd in chief gets his feelings hurt.